is Mrs. Palomino. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over these notes that you already have in Schoology, and just going over it, I think it will help you understand and just to see the process and how everything works. So IQR is the interquartile range, and these are the notes. Again, it's already in Schoology for you to read. Now for some new vocabulary. Number 1, quartiles. Quartiles divide the data into 4 parts. Number 2, Q1 is often referred to as the lower quartile and is the median of the lower half of the data. And Q3 is referred to as the upper quartile and is the median of the upper half of the data. Number 3, the interquartile range, or IQR, is the difference between Q3 and Q1, the middle half of the data. So the IQR equals Q3 minus Q1. Number 4, the minimum is the smallest number in a data set, while the maximum is the largest number in a data set. Let's determine the mean, the median, the mode, the range, the Q1, Q3, and IQR using this data set. So here's the data set: 1, 3, 2, 5, 12, and 1. First thing you want to do is order the data from least to greatest. And you're going to calculate the mean. So for the mean, you have to remember that the way you calculate it is by adding the numbers in the data set, then divided by how many numbers you have. So here's the list of numbers. You add them all and divide it by 6 because you have 6 numbers in the data set. After you do that, these will equal 4. Median, number in the middle after you rewrite the numbers in the data set in order from least to greatest. So this is the list that is already in order. So what you can do is start eliminating the outside numbers until you get to the middle. Now in the middle, you have 2 numbers. And when this happens, remember, you have to add them and then divide it by 2. So the median is 2.5. The mode is the number that repeats the most, that is more frequent in the data set. Looking at this data set, the number that repeats the most is number 1. It repeats twice. None of the other numbers repeat. The range. The range is the difference between the largest number and the smallest number. So the largest is 12, the smallest is 1. We have to take the difference. We have to subtract 12 minus 1, which equals 11. The range equals 11. Now, once we have this information, the mean, the median, the mode, and the range, now we can calculate Q1, Q3, and IQR. Divide the data in half between the 2 numbers you use to calculate the median. So here is the data. We split it in half. 3 numbers on the left, 3 numbers on the right, and they're right here. Find the median of each set of data. For example, Q1 should be 1, and Q3 should be 5. So Q1 is the median of these 3 numbers, of these data sets. So we basically split the data, the original data set into 2, and now we find the number in the middle on each side. That will be your Q1 and your Q3. Last, to find the IQR, find the difference between Q3 and Q1. Well, we already calculated Q1 and Q3. So the difference will be Q3 is 5 minus Q1, which is 1. So 5 minus 1 is 4. Please let me know if you have any questions regarding the IQR interquartile range. I'm going to go over this example 1 that you have in Schoology. You're welcome to print it, or you can just read it from your computer. Number 1, we have a set of data, and they're asking us to find the mean, the median, mode, range, Q1, Q3, IQR, minimum, and maximum. So let's start with the mean. The mean, we have to add all the numbers, then divide it by how many numbers we have. So I have 18. I have 2 20s, which is 40. Then I have 3 21s, which is 63. Then I have 2 23s, which is 46. That's adding in that order, okay? So here I have the list of numbers, but in order. And then adding them, this like 18, and then 2020 is 40, 321s is 63, and then 223s is 46. Okay, so adding these divided by 8, I have 8 numbers, and that will equal 20.875. That's the mean. We add, then we divide. The median, the number in the middle, well, remember, if we start eliminating after we put it in order from least to greatest, we end up having 2 numbers in the middle because we have an even number. We have 8 numbers. So in that case, remember, we have to add them and then divide it by 2. But when it's the same number, you add them, divide by 2, you get the same number. The same, 21. To find the mode, the number that repeats the most, well, we have 2 20s, but we have 3 21s and 2 23s. So the number that repeats the most, repeat 3 times, is 21. The range is largest minus the smallest. So 23 minus 18 will give you 5. Q1, remember that for Q1 and Q3, we have to split the data. So here's the data in order. If we split it, these will be Q1. This is Q1. Q1 is the median, the number in the middle of the lower quartile. So this is the lower quartile. So the number in the middle will be 20. You have 2 numbers. So that's why Q1 is 20. And we do the same for the upper half or the upper quartile. We have 4 numbers in the upper quartile. So we start eliminating the outside numbers. Now we have 21 plus 23 divided by 2. You get 22. So Q1 and Q3 is the median, the number in the middle of the lower and upper quartile. IQR is Q3 minus Q1. 22 minus 20 equals 2. That's the IQR. The minimum, that's an easy one. That is the smallest number in your list, in that data set. The smallest number, the maximum, the largest number. You don't even have to calculate anything. All you gotta do is just write it down. Just look at the data set, look at the smallest, that's the minimum, look at the largest, that's the maximum. Please let me know if you have any questions. Send me a message through Schoology if you still want me to give you more examples, something that you don't understand. Number 2, here we have a data set with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. It's an odd number, 7. Okay, so first, we're gonna add them all and then divide it by 7 because we have 7 numbers to find the mean, okay? So remember, add and divide for the mean. I'm even gonna write it over here. Add and divide. That's for the mean. So add the numbers divided by 7. You get 106 divided by 7, which will give you 15.14. The median is the number in the middle, but the numbers have to be in order, least to greatest. Don't try and find the median of this data set the way it's given. You have to rewrite everything, okay? So here's the list in order. The number in the middle, you start eliminating the outside numbers, and the number in the middle is 15. So you write it down. The mode, the number that repeats the most. Well, only 15 repeat twice. None of the other numbers repeat. So the answer is 15. The range is largest number minus the smallest number. 20 minus 8 equals 12. Q1 and Qr. When there is just one number in the middle, you do not include it in Q1 or Q3. This is what splits the data in half. So here's the data again, and it's showing how the median is not included. So 3 numbers on the left, 3 numbers on the right. Now you have to find the median of the lower half or the lower quartile, and the median, the number in the middle is 12. So that is your Q1. The number in the middle, the median on the upper quartile is 19. So that is your Q3. Now the IQR is Q3 minus Q1. 19 minus 12, which is 7. Minimum, the smallest number in the data set. Maximum, the largest number. Thank you for watching this video with Mrs. Palomino. Let me know if you have any other questions, and please practice, practice, practice.